the man of the minute, I would like to say. Very warm welcome, Lukas.
Thank you, Heike.
I suppose you are surprised too.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm surprised. I will be surprised how the teams will react for the surprise rules today.
So I have no drums, but now Lukas is going to announce the surprise rules for 2021.
Yeah, please let me make a short introduction first. So I would just want to explain the surprise rule a little bit. Usually teams will work on the same tasks for weeks and months over the last time. And now at the competition, they get a new special surprise rule where the objects available on the table can be reused. They have to do a different mission. The mission is changed a little bit. Yeah, and teams have the chance to score additional points to have a better position in the ranking. So we can start with the first surprise rule now, if you want.
So the first surprise rule, be attentive. But if you don't understand something, don't be scared, because we have enough time to ask questions, and we will also have a time to ask the head referees or head judges. So at first, the surprise roll for the regular category starts now.
So let's take a look at the surprise rule for the elementary age group. The surprise rule is about the sun. You have to collect the sun and bring the sun to the equipment area in this part of the mat. The sun has to touch the equipment area in any way. It's not important if the sun is still upright or if it's lying on the mat. You will get 10 points if you have brought the sun to this equipment area. It only has to be touching partly, so even if you place it on the border of the equipment area, that is still fine. Keep in mind that the sun is still used as indication for the target area for the solar panel. So if the sun is placed on this side, the solar panel has to be placed in this area. If the sun is on the other side, the solar panel has to be placed on the other side as well. So after we have checked the surprise rule, we will go to the randomizations. The first randomization is already built on this mat, but you can check out all randomizations in the slideshow right away.
Surprise rule for the elementary class children from 8 to 12. Now we will see the surprise rule for the juniors, 13 to 15 years old. Enjoy it.
Okay, let's have a look at the surprise rule for the junior age group. This year, the surprise rule has to do with the barriers. You have to take one of the barriers and bring it into the area of the season challenge logo right here. It doesn't matter if the barrier stands upright or is lying on the side, but what is important is that it touches the mat inside this white area. It is not important which barrier you use, either the one I just used or the other one. But please be advised, if you move one of the barriers out of the gray area, you will lose 5 points. But if you put it here and solve the surprise rule, you will gain 20 extra points. So in total, you achieve 15 extra points. it is not allowed to move both of the barriers. You will only get the extra points for one of them. And also be advised that if you remove the barrier from the field where it was before, it is not allowed to use this parking lot for the cars from the entrance lane. Okay, that is the surprise rule. What else do you see? The current setup of the field is showing you the first randomization. And on the following slides, you will now see all the other randomizations we prepared for you.
Thank you very much, Christoph Mattner. Now, a third surprise rule is missing. So we have in the regular category the surprise rule now for the seniors, 16 to 19 years old.
So now we will continue with the senior age group surprise rule. The senior age group surprise rule is about the wind turbines. The important part of the wind turbine is the black base. You have to collect one of these black bases and move it to the white area over here with the season logo. If the wind turbine touches the area with the season logo, then you will get 25 points. It is not important if the wind turbine is in an upright position or in any other position, but it has to only touch the corresponding area. Please be advised that you will get 3 penalty points if you move the wind turbine out of this area. But because you get 25 points for the wind turbine in the season logo area, there are 22 additional points that can be achieved with this surprise rule. So, the other thing is you can only move one of the wind turbines into that area. If you will move multiple of them, you will get more penalty points, but not more points for moving the wind turbine into the season logo area. So, as in the other age groups before on this field, you can already see the first randomizations, and you can see the other randomizations in the slideshow right now.
Yeah, Markus talked already about the judges, but all the judges need heads. And we have 3 head judges. 2 live with me in our studio, and 1 in Russia online. And we are waiting for Alex Kotolov to be with us. But at first, or until then, I asked perhaps at first Markus Plümper, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became judge and head judge and why you like your job.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. I'm Lukas and I studied computer science a few years ago, and I'm one of the founder member of Technik Begeistert, who is the national organizer for WRO in Germany.
Yeah, and Danny, you take a long way from South Africa to come here, and so we are very happy to see you. How did you become head judge, and why do you love your job?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Lovely to be here. Probably one of those, the only ones that were able to travel to the host event in a studio in a mechanical engineering museum, which is really incredible. I'm the national organizer for WRO in South Africa and have been judging for approximately 10 years and a head judge for about 5 or 6. In a category, and now the head judge of the open category. My background is in engineering, but love to work with children and also do some training with the bigger children. You know, teachers everywhere. So really incredible to be here, and it was great seeing the coaches and the judges yesterday, having conversations with them, and very exciting. And of course, in this very unusual situation. Thank you.
Yeah, we are again waiting for Alex. So perhaps start about your job now and how does it work? Because a lot of people perhaps might not understand what the head judge does when he's sitting in a studio like we are.
Yeah, first of all, I'm not doing this job on my own. I have a team of judges. There are 6 other head judges for the regular category, and there are 25 judges that will judge all the videos all the teams will send to us. So it's more organizational job. So I'm preparing the whole organizational setting, teams can upload their video, that all the judges have everything they need to check the videos, watch the videos, and do the scoring for that. And yeah, if needed, I will make final decision if something is unclear, if we have to decide how different situations are scored. But even that, I cannot do that on my own. All the other head judges will support me during the event.
Yeah, and I'm quite sure not every child is happy with your judgment. And this is also necessary to say it's not only becoming a winner, it's only being part of this and learning and being in the team. But what would you like to say to the ones who are perhaps not on the first ring?
Yeah. We always try to emphasize the teams and the coaches that everyone that takes part in this competition already is a winner. So these teams won their local competitions, national competitions, and can join this event because they are already the best in their country. And I think there's no reason to be ashamed if you are not on the first places in this international competition, because there are so many teams participating, and it's quite a huge challenge to concurrent with the best teams of the world. So don't be ashamed if you are not on the first places during this event.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to hear. Thank you very much. And now a very warm welcome to our head judge in Russia. Hello, Alex. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Do you hear me, Alex?
Can you see me?
Yeah, a little bit not loud enough, but perhaps the technique may help.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Hi.
but for us it's not loud enough. Perhaps technique help us to understand, Alex?
Yeah, so can you hear me, right?
Yeah, yes, it's nice. Hi, very warm welcome, Alex. Nice to see you. I hope you followed the beginning of our World Robot Olympiad online, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, sure. I was at a big flag parade. It was wonderful. Yeah, I was enjoyed with the teams, with their emotions. Yeah, it was very fun.
And perhaps we started to introduce ourselves a little bit. So please tell me how you came to the robot fever, and what was your way to become a head judge of the World Robot Olympiad?
Yeah, okay. I started with the World Robot Olympiad maybe 10 years or 11 years ago. So, and I participated as a judge, first of all. I had a team, and later I was organized. I was an organizer of the competition, regional competition, and after that I was part of the organizers in a national competition. And probably 5 years or 6 years ago, I was suggested as a head judge for category advanced robotics, which is called advanced robotics category for students, I mean for university and college students. And now I also was invited to produce or invent another category, which is more interesting for high school students. And now I'm a head judge in this new category, which is called Future Engineers.
Can you tell us a little bit more what future engineers means and what is the challenge for the teams?
Okay, so probably we understand that other categories are more about to build a robot from Lego, which with some specific set of hardware. And future engineers definitely is more about some is more open for hardware. So we could build our robots from any hardware we would like to use. And another main difference from other categories that we must use computer vision here in order to solve the challenge, and it is also very interesting for students. And I believe the main difference here that by introducing this new category, we would like to ask our students to solve the task which is more close to the real world task. For example, the task of this season and next seasons is to program a model for the model of self-driven vehicle, right? And this is really what we would like to see on our streets in near future, right? And we would like to ask our students to understand how the self-driven vehicles could work, how they could be programmed, and how they could be constructed. And this is very important to have future engineers.
Yeah, very cool. And this is also what I love about World Robot Olympiad. We are having visions of young people who don't have any frontiers. They don't need to think about money. They only let their spirit flow. In your category, perhaps they come closer to realize it. But I suppose this is also the good idea of this, to get the visions of young people to create their future. And perhaps, Danny, describe us a little bit also your open category.
Absolutely. Yes, it's a very different category in that the thinking and the ideas are very much open to the processes and thinking of the participants, and it's a category of diversity. So we include things like teamwork, programming, building, concept design, and all around on an annual basis a new theme, and it triggers and stimulates kids to be involved in the problems we have on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, as I said already, very cool. And we are very curious to see the results, and perhaps for everybody important to know, we will also register what we do the next following 4 days. And if you don't have time, or if you want to show all what we present to you, you may do it also later on. So stay on your homepage and you get the results, and you can see the things you don't see, because quite for sure we are not at the same place, it's not the same time. So when we started at 1 o'clock, we have teams who already dreamed of going to bed. And we also had teams who awakened very early this morning to participate. So are we all with you, although here it's 2 o'clock midday, the sun is shining, it's autumn, 16 degrees roundabout, but we want to participate. And Alex, your weather is how now? Oh, please, we need to listen to Alex. I don't hear him.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry.
Okay. How is the weather, and where you are, in which city?
Actually, I am near to Kazan. It's between Moscow and Ural Mountains. So, and we have -2 degrees. So it's quite cold, and we have lots of snow already in this part of Russia. So yeah, it's today Johan, my colleague in Future Engineers judging groups, say that it's nice and cold, but I'm saying that it is not nice, but still cold.
Thank you very much. And this is what I love. We are with you. You are here with us. And if we have technical problems or if you don't hear us, perhaps switch your loudspeakers on. And now I'm very happy to introduce again Markus Fleiger. I'm as your moderator. My name is Heike. I'm out for the moment. And I give the words to the specialists, and they will explain everything you need and everything which is important for the role. So, Markus, join us.
Yeah, thank you, Heike. You can make a little break now. And before the actual competition really is now starting and the teams are interviewed and all this, we just do a quick round of important questions and answers that have been asked and answered over the last weeks, the last hours, because we feel that there are a lot of information that are important for all teams, and it's good to repeat some questions, and perhaps we get some additional questions in our streams. So if you have a question, you can use our support system, or if it's a quick question, perhaps even the chat of our live stream. Let us start with regular category. So Lukas, we had some question and answers that are already on the WRO website, but are there some topics you want to highlight that are important for everyone to know again?
Yes, first of all, I just want to highlight, if you are unsure about any rule or have any question, then first of all, try to check all the documents we have. Check the rules, the game documents, and the information that were provided around this event, because most likely the answer you are looking for is somewhere in this document, and it's very nice if you can find it on your own and we do not have to look it up for you. If you ask us nevertheless, then we will look it up for you. And there's a special Q&A section on the WRO website where you find details to the different age groups. You can find it in the navigation bar under competitions, question and answers.
Yeah, so Lukas, I think it is very good to remind that actually everyone should read the rules, the game documents, our emails. That would be a great help. We know that English is not the native language for most of us, not for me as well. So we try our best. So if you have a question, just ask us. So looking a bit more into the details for regular category, there was something about multiple robots on the field or something like that. We got questions for that. Can you say a bit more about that?
Yes. This year we got the question if you can use multiple robots during the event. And there to remember the rules says that you are only allowed to use one controller during a competition. So actually you are not really allowed to use multiple robots. But you have 24 hours time for the normal challenges and you have 24 hours time for the second day challenge, and you can do any adjustments at your robot that you can do within this time. So if the robot changes over time, that is not a problem.
Yeah, good to say about that. And then another question, which is a bit connected to that, was about randomizations and hard-coded solutions. What's about that?
Yes, we got many questions around that topic, hard-coded solutions, because teams know the randomizations now. We provided 5 randomizations for each age group, and the teams can choose. And then the question was, can they just hard-code their robot? And no, you cannot just hard-code your robot. The robot has to detect the missions objects on the game mat. There are a few assumptions because in the game documents you find a summary of the randomizations, and there are some parts that are randomized per day, so for the whole competition, and there are some that are randomized per round. And the things that are randomized per day will be the same in all of the 5 randomizations, and you can hard code this because you could do this in a normal competition as well. But we will check if all the other things will be detected by sensors.
And if I'm right, then we have now uploaded the surprise rules and the randomizations now on the event website as well. So if you go to the competition section, you will find a PDF file where the randomizations and the surprise rules Lukas just explained some minutes earlier, you can find them and you can see which randomizations we have. Another question was because of a little error, I think, on our game mat about the start area size.
Yes, there was a little design flaw in our mats this year. The starting area should have been 25 by 25 centimeters big, but actually it's not. It's a little bit smaller. And because of that reason, we decided that the black line around the starting area will be counted as part of the starting area. So if your robot is within the black line, including the black line, then it's totally fine. We will check that in the videos as well. So make sure that we can see and check if your robot is inside that starting area.
But the robot size is still 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters, or?
Yes, it is, but we see.
Yeah, okay. And then the last question, I think, for regular category was how many videos the teams now need to upload this weekend for the different surprise rule, normal challenge, and the second day challenge?
Yeah, that's a good point as well. In total, teams need to upload 3 videos to our cloud. The first 2 videos will be with the normal challenges and the surprise rule we just presented. If you upload these videos, make sure that you use 2 different randomizations. If you upload 2 videos with the same randomization, we can only count 1 of the videos. And for the second day challenge, you only have to upload 1 video, so that is totally fine. Please make sure, if you upload a video, that that is the final video you want to submit to us, because we might start scoring it, and then there's no way back to upload a new video.
I think, again, reading the deadline, 24 hours, be in time with that, because for regular category, after 24 hours, you will get more information on the second day challenge, so please be in time with everything you do.
And if you experience any technical problems, then please contact us as soon as possible, because then we can react on that. We can find a solution for that. If you write us 6 hours after the deadline, oh, we had problems uploading that video, then it might be too late.
Yeah, so okay, thanks for reminding this. Let's take a look at open category. You just said, Dani, it's a different category, so I assume we have very different questions and topics to talk about. One thing I'm wondering about, we have that sometimes at the international final as well, the problem with language, because you need to explain things, and I think there was a question about having a person that is helping translating.
Yes, correct. So we always have the problem, obviously. So according to the international rules, the presentation, reports and videos all have to be done in English. And obviously, the judges are selected because they're all able to speak English as well. But it is tough. And we recognize that. So in the questions we had, obviously, whether teams would be able to use translators, the normal answer is no. But there are times when the judges really want to understand something, or the participants don't understand the question. And then the judges will request a translator or the coach to assist. It is incredible, though, that they're slightly forced to do this, because over a period of time, some of the teams that we've seen in judging, it's incredible that after 3 years, for example, they are actually able to do what they need to do and answer the questions and hear the questions without the judge's assistance. So the process is hard, but it works. But at the same time, you know, we're not the judges aren't there to punish the children and to have them suffer. So we try and make the situation as easy as possible. And if we need to, then we ask, and sometimes we have the coach just assist us a little bit to make sure that we have the children or the participants present the project the best way that they can.
So effectively, you say the students can do a lot on their own, and if they need some help, you find solutions for that.
Absolutely, yes. We're there to see the project, not to see how good their English is.
Yeah, and of course, English, as you said, can improve from year to year. If you participate multiple years, then it's getting better and better. Another thing was a question about the project space you mentioned earlier. So because we usually have this 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters, and
Yes.
now we are in Zoom. So what about the 2 meters in Zoom?
Yeah, we had the question, and I just said to the coaches that we don't want them to use the whole house because they're probably at home or in a big lab, and we normally set up the cubicles for them and we limit their space. So the guideline was just to use as close to that space as possible. And again, for where we are in this situation, conditions is we are going to approach this whole event with flexibility and leniency.
Okay, I think that is a good information for teams, but good information for the parents as well, so that they don't find the whole house being an open category robot model. Then a technical question about the part of devices in a Zoom room. You had some issues about that.
So obviously, they won't. The teams have submitted a report and a video, but the live interviews every team around the world is having a live interview with the judges. And obviously, for us to be able to see the projects online and have a better idea of how something works, is that we've allowed them to use two devices. So the one device would be obviously like a studio camera or a device that just records, like a laptop, for example. But to have a second device which is portable, so that when the judges want, you can actually move the camera into an area to inspect something a little closer, to really understand firstly how it works, and to see it, because we're certainly as judges this year missing being able to put our head actually into the project, and see and have the children explain face to face.
Yeah, you said to me earlier as well these days that if you go to an international final, if you watch all the open category projects, you go back inspired. And how do you go back this week? Because here in our studio, I don't see an open category team.
Well,
will you watch all of them as well? So
I normally enjoy watching them. I'm certainly inspired by, again, this whole project could have been an open category project, for adults in a country somewhere else. So
oh, yes,
I am seeing a
definitely.
little bit of that. But watching the videos and seeing them, we will obviously, as head judges, also go into the Zoom interview rooms and actually see the projects as best we can. But as I have said to you before, it's hard work getting to where we are. But I always leave inspired because of what the teams come up with, and the knowledge and the research that they've done, and also how much I've learned from the experience. I don't like studying anymore. I'm past that, I like to relax and stare into the distance. But I go away inspired, and reading the reports and watching the videos is really a wonderful experience.
Yeah, so thank you for open category, unless you have something else.
No, thanks.
Okay.
Look forward to it, everybody.
Yeah, then we take a look at future engineers, and hello from me as well to Alexander. Is there anything you want to mention about future engineers? Future engineers is, of course, our new category, so even judging at an international final is new. So what is new and special about that, and which questions did you get that perhaps we should repeat and clarify for the teams?
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for the time. So there are a few questions. First of all, I would like to recall that we are still building self-driven vehicle, and the model must be exactly the same as real vehicle are. So we need to use just two motors, one for driving and one for steering, right? And this is important limit we have in this category. So another introduction we made, especially for online final, that it is quite hard to measure the time. And that's why we are saying that time is less important than points. And would like to motivate students to build more robust solutions. And and that's why we reduced the priority of the time. So now you need to, so probably you had some another day to tune your solution to not be so fast, but to be more stable. And it's very important for us. And another question we have about runs. So we will have exactly the same runs as it is described in the rules. So we will have 2 runs for qualification round and 2 runs for the final round. And the main difference for the online competition is that we will have randomization for every team before every run. So it means that teams will not have the same position of elements, the same position of walls between. For every team in every run, we will have different positions of elements and walls. It's also very important. And that this is another reason why we reduce the priority for the time. I believe that's all for the questions appeared in last days.
Just to clarify, I think what is happening in the Zoom with the teams is that they present their runs, or so you watch the runs and score them. But what you have already done, perhaps in the last days, is taking a look at the documentation, because a part of Future Engineers competition is as well not only to build this robot, but to have a good documentation of what you do, because you should be an engineer. And engineering is about documentation as well. So this is what you already checked.
Judges already sent me evaluation results, and we will publish these results after the last run, after the last much or in the final day. We would like to avoid publish these results before this time in order to motivate students to participate every day. And yeah, this is also the main difference from previous advanced robotics category, that we have this documentation and we have requirements for GitHub, to have GitHub, we have requirements to prepare some electric mechanical schemes, how they connected all elements in the robot to each other. And we have strict requirements how this GitHub must be organized and which how we need to check that actually team worked through last 2 months for this solution code. Yeah, and yeah, it's also interesting to see all this stuff prepared by teams, because they are learning how to do this GitHub stuff, and how to learn. They are learning how to build these electromechanical schemes, and so it's great to have them learning.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine. And one other question I have, because the Future Engineers field is, we have it here in the studio as well. It's quite large, so it's 9 square meters. Are there any problems to get this field into Zoom? So they need to adjust a camera, a webcam, that you can see everything. Is this a problem for the teams? Because I would not have this space in my living room, so they need to be in the school or outside. I don't know.
Yeah, actually today we are checking with the teams their equipment for live stream. So we are checking that they have 2 cameras to present us their solution, and they have they directed and these cameras in proper way. So yeah, we are checking this, and we see that some teams are struggling, but most of them are okay, and they are ready to present us both cameras, and they are actually in school. Today we found that the team from Indonesia is sitting in very beautiful place, jungle around some this area. So I would like to be there together with them, and not in my winter outside. Very cold. I have very cold weather just now, and I would like to be in Indonesia in these jungles.
Yeah, of course. That is the cool thing about an online international finance, that everyone can be where they want to be and don't need to be somewhere where it's cold, for example. Yeah, so that is a nice end. Unless you have anything else for Future Engineers that is important to know?
No, that's all from my side.
Okay, I think then we just talked about the different categories, so regular, open, and Future Engineers. I hope that we could clarify the last questions about that. And then I'm looking to my right, because I'm looking at Christoph. He was watching our stream at the moment and watching if there were any questions in our chat that we could perhaps now mention as well and explain to the teams. Do you have something for me?
Yes, hello Markus, and hello everybody out there in the world. Honestly, we don't have so many questions yet on the social media and in the live stream chats, but there was one question which I would love to highlight. Some of the participants asked on which time zone our schedules are based. So for your information, we send out schedules, detailed schedules, to all of the participating teams. And these schedules are based on the time zone UTC +0. So if you are in a different time zone than UTC +0, which most of you probably are, you should reconvert this time in the schedule to your own time zone. And please be sure that you are on time at your scheduled time slot for the live interviews in open category and Future Engineers, and that you do not miss the video upload deadlines in regular category, because otherwise we will have a bit of a problem organizing the competition this year.
I think that is important information, and I think the schedule for our live stream is of course on our event website, but you were not talking about the competition schedule. Everything is in UTC 0, and important to check for you again what is your important time. Another question, or from our...
Actually, as far as I could tell, that's it so far from the questions from the live chats. But if you have any further questions, of course, you can always contact us in the live chat, but you may also use our support system. You will find it when you move to the website support.wro.events, or you can also send us an email at support@wro2021.org.
Yeah, okay, I think that is an important information. Please send us questions to the support system, because then we can easily answer that or delegate the questions to the persons with the expert knowledge. And if we don't have many more questions at the moment, that is perhaps a good signal, because then we have perhaps explained everything in a good way. But of course, please go to our website, inform yourself about the competition, go to the social media channels, take a look. We have the live stream that is on our event website, which is WRO2021.org. We have the live stream on the Facebook page of World Robot Olympiad Association, and we have the live stream on the LinkedIn page of World Robot Olympiad Association as well. You can inform yourself about this. And before we start with the next program here in our live stream, because that is again something with a magic show, we want to just take a look with you how it has been at the last international final in Thailand. We have the event video from Thailand, and perhaps, Alex, you wanted to go into a warm setup. Now we are going to a warm setup. We go back to Thailand 2018. So let's take a look about the international final in Thailand. Yeah, and I assume that we will just find the right video in the next moment from one of our last international finals. I just get the message that the last international final was in Hungary, and unfortunately in a cold weather condition. But then we take a look at the last international final in Hungary, and perhaps we can revisit the international final in Thailand later. Yeah, so now we are back. It was very cool to see the last international final already 2 years ago. And of course, we hope that we can all meet together next year at the physical international final. But now we have the online international final. And Christoph, you have just some very interesting information about what is happening just now. So not in this stream, but in the background. So
Yes, I prepared some information for all of you regarding what is actually happening in the tournament, what has happened already, and what is happening now and happening in the next days. So, very interesting. In the Future Engineers category, we are already having live test runs for all the teams since 5 hours. So, the first teams have already had their test checkup. They've checked their video setup and are ready for their live judging sessions tomorrow. And the rest of the teams will have their checks this afternoon. In the open category, we will start with the live interviews in just about 5 minutes. So the first live interviews are just about to start. As far as I know, we are probably going to jump into 1 or 2 of them later this day. And of course, we will have more live interviews in the next 2 days. And yeah, well, open category, I believe most of the teams have started to work on the surprise rule and the new randomization, which we just explained earlier. And they will upload their first videos until tomorrow at midday.
I think you meant regular category and for the surprise rules. I hope a surprise rule in open category would be so much fun for them, but perhaps for next year. Okay, then I think I can go back to Heike. You had a little break, and now we come to the next very interesting point here in the live stream.
Yeah, it's really an interesting point in the live stream. But before, thank you very much for all the explanations. And for the ones who don't participate, please stay with us, because really it's interesting, and perhaps also the teams want to be quiet to build and to code and to think about everything happens right, to participate well in this competition. So stay with us. And I don't know whether the young or the old have also mascots. I have a mascot with me because live moderation, for the ones who had been with us from the beginning, is not so easy because it's live and technique does not every time work as it should. I suppose also the builders and coders know it. Now you know my mascot, and we are talking about the World Robot Olympiad mascot during the following days. But we are very curious to know, have you mascots with you? Are they secret? Are they shown? And please send us pictures from your mascots so that the robot community can participate also in these ideas. And now I suppose it's for everybody of us time to relax a little bit. Not the teams who are in competition, but the ones around. And I hope there are a lot. And I would like to introduce again, with a really warm applause, without my mascot, and please help me, Jean-Olivier et Robopolitan again. We are happy that you are with us.
Thank you, Heike.